Hey folks, this is Casey and we're here for another video game. This time I've got Rogue Legacy from Cellar Door Games, and it's a good time. Now, this is the second time I've recorded this video because I'm still getting used to this whole thing with audio levels and stuff, and I'm realizing, despite the fact I've been a podcaster for 6 years, that my voice carries better when I don't lean away from the mic. Crazy how that happens, isn't it? So we're going to try this again, but bully for you guys, I still suck at this game, despite that 2-week layoff, or no, a couple days layoff. I shouldn't say 2 weeks. That makes it sound far more extravagant than what it is. It's been like probably 12 hours since I was last, sucking really bad at this. So, also new since last time, I've come up with the name with the help of one of our listeners from Bloody Good Horror, Johnny Sacco on Twitter, pointed out that I have a verbal tick that I say a lot, and I know I've said a lot in these videos, and I've said them a lot on the Bloody Good Horror podcast, and I know I've said it a lot in the 1951 Down Place podcast, so we're going to go with that verbal tick, and we're going to name this little video series here, Video Games and Whatnot. So how about that? That's right, Video Games and Whatnot. I don't even know if you'd call this a BGH joint. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to post it there anyways, so you can always look for these at bloodygoodhorror.com or at cinemafromage.com, which is not very active anymore, so I wouldn't even bother. Anyways, enough about me. We're here to play some Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy is a retro platformer. As you can see, it's also a roguelike, which is... roguelike is a dungeon crawler that has procedurally generated dungeons that change every time you die and you go away. You have permadeath and all that good stuff. The beauty of permadeath in Rogue Legacy is when you die, you come back as your heir. You get to pick your heir. You get one of 3 classes to choose from, and they all got funny traits and stuff, so it's pretty cool. And we'll just go into it here. It's pretty straightforward. You run around, you break shit, you collect gold, you jump on stuff, and you explore. There's a little bit, Metroid elements and stuff like that. Oh, see? Now you'll notice here, there's nothing wrong with your screen. That blurry blob in the middle is intentional because my tune that I'm playing here is nearsighted. And again, I said I sucked. It's been actually more than 12 hours, so I'm a little rusty. It takes a minute for me to get the muscle memory going because I'm old, and that's just the kind of game it is. It's pretty fun though, despite being bad at it. I have not beat any of the bosses yet, which feels funny. I'm at level 23, but I know from talking to a friend, Tom, that's got the game as well, he said it took him probably around this level to get to it too. So right now what I'm doing is I am running through random dungeons, and I'm trying to rake some gold so I can upgrade my stats. So again, this is a tune trait is nearsightedness, so that center of the screen around me is blurry. It may be farsightedness, I don't remember because I didn't read it. The opposite, there is a farsighted that everything far away is blurry. There is irritable bowel syndrome, as you can imagine, is my favorite because your tune farts constantly as it explores, and it is hilarious because fart jokes are never not funny. Never. Ooh, I have not seen that picture on the wall before. I bet that's something secret. Band of Bears. That must be one of their games. Well, how about that? I've never seen that before in this game, so that's a pretty cool little Easter egg there. A little history on the Cellar Door Games. You can't see this tune, I can show you later, but as I said, this is a pretty basic game. You have a button for jump, you have a button for your sword attacks, you have a button for magic. Each tune has a different magic spell. Boom, there's a teleport spell. There's things like chakrams, which is a little like edge disc like Xeno used to carry. that they could throw. There's scythes, there's daggers, there's fire shields, all sorts of cool stuff. You push down and jump, and you can jump downwards. You could do a downwards attack, which I suck at. I don't know if that's skill or if that is controller being crappy, because I use a afterburner third-party Xbox controller, which does all right, but sometimes I feel like there's probably a little bit of accuracy issues there, but that could be, again, skill. Because while I enjoy my video games, I am nowhere near being the game master, so to speak. That kid that wore the power glove in that game with or that movie with Fred Savage and Jenny Lewis, I have never been that good at video games. By God, I try, though, with enthusiasm or stubbornness. So here I died, and I'm bringing back a new heir. We have a Barbarian Queen. They're a tank. They get more health. Ectomorph. She is skinny, so every hit sends me flying. And I got a spell of a Blade Wall, which sucks because it just drops a big sword in there. I also get a special move with these because I've upgraded the Barbarians to where I get a Barbarian Shout, and she shouts and knocks things out of the way. This is a Knave, which I don't play at all. It's a risky hero. You get low stats on everything, but you get critical strikes. Not a big fan of this one because you die in about 2 or 3 hits. Trait Corporalalia, which means every time he gets hit... Oh, I'm sorry, it's Lady Faye, the 6th. Every time she gets hit, she swears. She's also gay, which does nothing to the gameplay. And she's got a spell of Conflux. Launches orbs that bounce everywhere. And then we have a Barbarian King. You see his magic spell down there is a Scythe. It's a walking tank. He's bald. He's an endomorph, so he's very heavy, and enemies can't knock you back and send Scythe. So we're going to choose him. And as you start, this is where I was farming gold here, and you got upgrades you can do. So you can check your upgrades. You have attack upgrades, you have health upgrades, you have armor, you have your mana pool, magic damage. You've got some new things that we can unlock here, some new classes. What's this one? Crit chance up. I'm going to go with armor because I've been dying a lot. I'd like to do more damage, but I don't have that. So there we go. These are other classes and stuff that I've unlocked. Architect, I'll show you here in a minute. That's upgraded to the Knight class, which means that my paladins I can hold the Y button and use a shield to block, whereas the barbarians got that shout. The mages get something different. They can cycle different spells and whatnot. I unlocked a enchantress that does magic upgrades, which I've not found many runes, because you find runes as you're going through the puzzles. You've got let's see, a shinobi class, which is pretty cool. They move fast, they hit hard, no crits. I got a smithy that upgrade, you unlock patterns for stuff. I hadn't seen that one before. You unlock patterns for armor and stuff like that. So then we come here, and you see your smithy. You've got different upgrades you can do. If you have the gold, of course, nothing's free. Got helmets, breastplates, gloves, capes. You come over here, and you got different enchantments that you can do if you find the runes. I've not found a whole lot of runes, so I've got one that I can sprint, which is not that exciting. The architect, if you talk to him, he will lock the map. So, as I said, this is a procedurally generated game, a roguelike, so every time you die and you come back, if you don't visit the architect, the entire layout of the castle changes and you're exploring all over. The trade-off is if you lock it, you get, if you lock the castle through the architect, you keep everything where it's at. So everything you've explored is already explored. You have to kill all the mobs and stuff again, but you only get 60% of the gold. So where I'm at, I'm trying to farm to get more stats, so I'm just going back without unlocking so I can get some more gold. And then I'm going to go back and find the boss and kill him, hopefully. God, I hope so, because it's been driving me nuts. And this is Sharon, who every time you die, you have to pay a toll to get back in the castle. And Sharon takes all the gold that's left in your account. So every time you die and you come back, you want to spend all the gold that you can, because you're going to lose it. Unless you find there is an item, Chiron's Obol, or something like that. It's some little bauble that he likes, and he lets you in for free. So, let's see here what we can find. You have a map system here, which is not going to show well. If you look here in the background, right here, there's a map on the wall that you find after you find these journals throughout the game that break down your story, break down the story and whatnot, and what's going on here. And they basically give you the tips and whatnot, and tell you that, see, there it is, and whatnot. And they tell you what's happening in this world, how do you get through, and stuff like that. And they mention in these journals that despite everything always changing, they know that the tower was always up, the dungeon was always downwards, and the forest was always to the right. So there are different areas outside the castle that you'll find if you go far enough to those in those directions. Those are much higher level too, so your difficulty ramps up in each one of them. I don't know yet which one is harder than the other, but I do know that they all ramp up fairly significantly. I think the dungeon felt a lot harder than the forest to me, and I don't know that I found the tower yet. I may have, but it was called something different. I may be in a different area. I don't know. And I think they all have their own bosses, so there you go. Other than that, that's really all there is to it mechanic-wise, so it's nice and simple. It's as far as learning the game. Mastering the game is a whole different story. It's going to make you swear. It's very hard. If you were the type that used to get pissed off at Mario and throw your controller, or even more accurate, Kid Icarus, yeah, this is going to do it. Oop, that sucks. Fire's bad, y'all. Ah, there's a treasure chest. I got some gold, but now I got to get back through all this fire, and it's going to suck. Well, that's not as bad. It's nice, though, because I have that Barbarian King, so I can take a lot more damage. That helps. Let's see. This is a little statue. They usually give you an item of some kind, so let's see here. We're going to pray for assistance, and I got a compass. Ooh, I have not seen this before. I don't know what it does. They're going to point me towards probably treasure or bosses or who knows. I see it popping up there, so... Oh, asshole. Screw you. Give me your treasure. Thank you. And we will talk to you later. Let's see here. So we gotta go back and go up. They like to throw lots of stuff at you. It gets a lot heavier later in the game, for certain. Let's see here. Poke your eye out. Got some health there. Your turkey legs are your health. You get little mana potions. You can redo your magic. Boom. That was a magic spell you saw there. Those guys are little assholes. Those little caped guys, they can fly around and make it just out of your reach and make it just hard enough to hit him that it, you know, honks you off. This guy does ice spells. He's just as annoying as his brother there in the brown robe. It's one of those things where you may have pulled off something nearly impossible, where you've been jumping through all sorts of little levels with spikes and stuff like that, and then you're going to do something stupid and walk into that guy because he's going to move someplace you weren't expecting, and it's the nature of the game. Nature of the beast, nothing to be done. There we go. Only problem with that compass there is I keep thinking it's one of those eyeball monsters we saw a minute ago, and I want to hit it. But it won't let me. Alright, so there's nothing up there. We got a legend here. Then there's teleporters too as you're unlocking the castle, and if you're going to keep locking it every time you come back, you can take teleporters to get further in. You don't have to fight your way all the way through each time. And if you lock it, you could, so when you die, you can come back, take a teleporter, go right directly to your boss, stuff like that. That helps. Let's see. Now these things I hate because, again, I'm not good at that downward slash. So like those little bubbles there you see, if I go... Okay, I bitch about being bad at those and then all of a sudden I'm good at it. Isn't that the way it goes? It's like a whole different game now. Nope, I'm out of mana. go. Screw you, and you, and you. Give me your gold. Thank you, thank you. Bye-bye now. You get a pretty good jump height here. Works out if you hold your jump button longer, you'll jump higher. Oh, that sucked. That was a good run for me. So again, we're gonna go back, pick a different hero. Archmages are not as fun for me because they get hit. Let's see, there's the different traits. Hypergonadism, you're permaroided, attacks knock enemies further, they knock them backwards. Dyslexia, you have trouble reading things. So all of the text in the game is scrambled. This one is an ADHD, so energetic, you move faster. Trait, dementia, you are insane, which I think is just gibberish talk and stuff like that. Endomorph, you're heavy, so enemies can't knock you back. We'll try this one so you can see the dyslexia in action. But we got some good upgrades though. What do we got? I'm gonna do damage. I've been wanting that. That works for me. I'm gonna do one more gold run here. I skipped by that too fast. Now entering, saying I see the text is backwards. So if you're dyslexic, I hope you are not offended easily. I'm sure it is all done in good humor. Oh, bastard. See, those guys are assholes. That's a chakram. There you go. This one's not gonna last long. I've already taken a couple hits. Not good. The mages are paper cannons, so to speak, and it's got about one more shot in me. Oop! There we go. That happens a lot in this game. You wander in a room, don't pay attention, and you're dead. So we'll go one more round here before I let you go. Dwarfism. What do we got? Dwarfism. We've got Dextrocardia. Your magic and hit point pools are swapped. And you got ADHD and OCD. Try Barbarian King. We'll see if we can get a good run going here. No gold to spend because everything's too expensive. Nothing to spend there. And here we go. Pay this guy and we're going to have at it here. Building. And this is the only area that ever starts the same. It's always the same here. I don't know what's behind that door either. I'm sure once I beat the bosses, I will find out. That's probably your main boss dude. I'm sure of it. Boom. Boom. Let's see what's back up here. One thing that this game is bad, if you're like me, who is the type that cannot play like a hack and slash game, especially with Diablo. I'm horrible with those games because it takes me forever because I cannot. That's like an extra big boss. I cannot, for the life of me, walk through a room and leave like areas unexplored because there might be fancy loot and you never know. Okay, he's kicking my ass. So we're gonna leave him behind for now. We'll come back to that maybe. Probably not because I'll probably die. Because his little shithead cousin here is going to get me. Here we go. Oop. Oh, you bastard. There we go. This isn't gonna work out good. Well, yeah, see, so there you go. That is Rogue Legacy from Cellar Door Games. You can find out more about it at roguelegacy.com. It's available on Steam. It's available on GOG. It's available, I think, damn near anywhere that you could buy digital downloads. So it runs about $15. And it'll treat you good. It's a $15 well spent, especially if you like platformers. The roguelike stuff is do a Google on roguelike, because I don't play them much because I always got frustrated with them. Because the pure roguelikes have a lot of very different mechanics. They're not fluid like that, and they're not constantly going. They're ever changing, but they're a lot more old school. So there are people that are diehard fans of them, though, because of the difficulty and the permadeath and everything like that. So this game, Rogue Legacy, with the way they handle the permadeath and the way that they've turned it into a platformer, to me, it skirts the perfect middle ground for your, people that are not fans of that roguelike formula, because it makes it a little bit easier and a little bit easier to take the permadeath and everything like that. So it's a good middle ground. So there you have it, Rogue Legacy. Hope you enjoyed these little videos. Again, my name is Casey. You can find me on Steam under Cinema Fromage, all one word. You can find me on Twitter at KCBGH. You can find me damn near anywhere. So be sure to hit me up if you want to play some games. Add me on your friends list. I'm always up for some co-op games when they're available as well on Steam. So I'm on Steam all the time these days. You're not going to find me much on Xbox, but you can add me at Cinema Fromage on there as well. So if you like this, be sure to check out the weekly podcast over at bloodygoodhorror.com, where I'm joined with my merry band of cohorts talking about your newly released horror movies every week. And check me out once a month at 1951downplace.com on the 1951 Downplace podcast, where we talk about the classic Hammer horror movies from England. And someday, I promise, the book podcast, Dad and His Weird Friends, will be back. We got some stuff cooking, so there you have it. Until next time, bye-bye.